Who are the hypocrites?
Bill Burr is a perfect example.
Okay.
Because he on record he talked shit about people who went overseas and did perform for themselves.
Oh, he's done?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He's been on podcasts and on radio shows. He's
Really?
adamantly talked shit about it. And then he's doing it.
What did he say about it?
The latest stream of In Godfrey We Trust, hosted by Godfrey with co-host Dante Nero and guest Eva Evans and Akeem Woods, took on one of the most heated controversies currently reverberating through stand-up: the participation of major Western comedians in the Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia. What began as a casual, humorous back and forth unfolded into a pointed analysis of free speech, money, and moral responsibility in the comedy industry. The conversation, while rooted in the podcast signature loose style, echoed debates raging across social media, Reddit, and the comedy world at large. At the core lies the festival itself, billed as an international extravaganza of comedy. Its announced lineup included Kevin Hart, Gabriel Iglesias, Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Tom Segura, and, as later reports confirmed, Louis C.K. These names instantly elevated the event's visibility, but also drew scrutiny. As Akeem Woods explained on the show, the problem wasn't the jokes themselves, but the host nation.
This big comedy festival that has Kevin Hart, Gabriel Iglesias,
Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle,
Tom Segura. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers going there.
And what's the issue?
Because Saudis cut up a reporter.
For free speech.
Cut him up.
Cut him up?
Yeah.
They
a couple years ago.
Yeah,
in Khashoggi.
Khashoggi. They cut him with a bone sword.
I mean, they just allowed women to start driving, but kind of niggas when y'all draw the line.
Well, what
Y'all
say
do
to
be
them?
driving wild.
What he say? Yeah, that's
But
true.
also, I think it's just the hypocrisy that a lot of these comics have always been like so outspoken about like free speech.
Yeah.
Until the bag is too big.
And then even in the deal memo, they're like, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about this. And I mean, I get it, you get the bag, but it's just y'all are hypocrites, and that's all it is.
Well, I want to see this proof of Bill Burr or whatever. But they're saying that it's like fucked up because it's some blood money shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's the extravaganza you was talking about that we wasn't invited to.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
You
Saudi
don't get invited to
extravaganza.
the extravaganza. Because these motherfuckers be having. I remember doing somebody's when they had a residency at Radio City Music Hall. They asked me to come through. I came through.
Like, niggas, sit over there.
I was there. Everybody backstage was like, how the fuck ain't you going up? I was like, They didn't let me up. They just like, I just chilling. But everybody was going up but me.
There's a fear.
They were going up. Everybody was going up
They
but
want
me.
the hot 20.
They don't want that hot 20. They can't deal with that hot 20, man.
Can't follow that.
I
You
don't
really
know.
a hot 10. That's all you
10 is
need.
real bad.
10 is dangerous.
Yeah.
They don't want it because
Hit the
you know
gas,
what?
you
They
don't
like
get
that lukewarm shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm lukewarm.
You find
Everybody
anything?
around me.
Saudi Arabia has been seeking to rebrand its image through high-profile entertainment projects, part of its Vision 2030 modernization push, but critics argue these events are state-sponsored sports washing or culture washing. Woods brought up the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018, where Saudi operatives killed and dismembered the reporter inside a consulate. This brutal act, widely attributed to the Saudi regime, remains a defining symbol for those who view the comedy festival as blood money. Even as Saudi Arabia has expanded certain freedoms, such as recently allowing women to drive, the regime remains notorious for human rights abuses and restrictions on expression. The festival's deal memos, which reportedly forbid comics from making certain jokes, struck the podcast panel as a direct contradiction to the free speech ethos that many comics claim to champion. Godfrey himself approached the conversation with curiosity and skepticism, pressing for clarity and even asking for proof of accusations against Bill Burr, who became the focal point of the panel's frustration.
What about Bill?
There was this compilation. I wish I would have saved it, but I saw the video, but I didn't save it.
Well, what?
Man, the bag. Get
He
your
was
bag.
on a
Fuck outta
on a
here.
podcast talking shit about people who going over there performing for billionaires and blah blah blah. And then he just did exactly what he said.
But my thing is,
It's just a hypocrite.
They was mad at Beyonce when Beyonce went over there and did something. Not Saudi,
but
but she went
Saudis
some
have
shit.
stuff in America that you don't even realize is there.
Nigga, wrestling goes to Saudi.
Yeah.
nigga.
It's like, what are you talking? I've been to Saudi.
Son,
I've done
you
Saudi.
have-
I've done Kuwait. I've done Dubai. I've done Lebanon.
Usually,
Burr, Woods argued, had long criticized comics who performed for billionaires or under questionable circumstances, but was now doing exactly what he once mocked by accepting the Saudi paycheck.
All right, so now the next day, okay? So that was the friendly. Now we're going to Saudi Arabia. And Josh is going like, dude, I feel good now. I feel good. And I'm going, dude, I don't know, man. I'm fucking nervous about this one. This is like, we're in the shit here. Like, they have never had a comedy festival. And, I don't know what's going to happen here. And like, my whole fucking idea of Saudi Arabia is what I've seen like on the news. I literally think I'm going to fucking land, and everybody's going to be screaming, death to America. And they're going to have like fucking machetes and want to like chop my head off, right? Because this is what I've been fed. And we're driving around and then I'm just like going like, I thought this place was going to be like really tense. And I'm thinking like, is that a Starbucks next to a Pete's Coffee, next to a Burger King, next to a McDonald's, next to a Pizza Hut, next to a Dunkin' Donuts, next to a Krispy Kreme, next to a Cheesecake Factory, next to a KFC, next to a Chili's? They got a fucking Chili's over here? Then we go into the mall because I want to get my kids something. There was a Timberland store. I could have bought Timberlands like I was in Brooklyn, New York. Okay, they want a fucking show. You could feel it. I was talking to the other comics. You could feel it. They wanted you to push, right? It was really fucking exciting. So I go up on stage and I start doing my shit and they're fucking into it. Everything's going good. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm checking out the diplomats as I'm doing this stuff and they're all fucking laughing. All right, so I'm going to push a little farther. And all of a sudden I start getting in the zone. Well, Billy's feeling loose up there. And my brain just goes, gay Jim. And then the other part of my brain goes, don't do that. And then I said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. So I started doing the joke and it fucking murdered. It murdered. They all loved it. And at that point, I was just like, fuck it. I'm just doing my act. So I did my act, did the whole thing. And I had to stop a couple times during the show. I was like going like, I'll be honest with you guys, I cannot fucking believe any of you have any idea who I am. This is really amazing. And it was just this great exchange of energy, right?
The In Godfrey We Trust discussion mirrors wider conversations happening online and within the comedy community. Duncan Trussell, for instance, weighed in with the public statement on social media, sparking debates on Reddit and among fans. His nuanced take, acknowledging the ethical concerns while reflecting on the complexities of engagement versus boycott, was dissected by audiences, some praising his honesty, others accusing him of hedging. David Cross, by contrast, came down firmly against the festival, publicly criticizing peers he respected for participating. For Cross, the issue was less about individual comics and more about how their presence lends legitimacy to a regime accused of silencing dissent and committing abuses. A particularly pointed subplot involves Louis C.K. and Shane Gillis. Years ago, Louis criticized Gillis for being greedy by placing ads on his podcast, a move Louis suggested betrayed artistic integrity.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
We're going to read some ads.
Okay.
All right. And then we're going to switch over to the Patreon for the last part. So join the Patreon if you want.
Why do you make them go on Patreon?
That way.
That way what?
It's good.
You need the money?
Yes.
Really? The
No,
ads
I don't.
and the Patreon? You're going to make them listen to ads
Hold
and
on.
then switch to Patreon?
Hold on. This
This is like when I watch a fucking fight on DAZN, which I pay for,
DAZN.
and there's a fucking ad between the rounds.
Hold on.
Is it subscription or is it fucking
Holy
ad?
shit, there's 3 ads. Hold on.
Yeah, but
Well,
you don't have to put this on Patreon.
We
You
do.
don't have to. You don't need the
It's
money,
not for me.
Shane
Matt
Gillis.
and Sean need it.
How
Matt's
much,
got a family.
How much do you get for Patreon? How much really?
I'll tell you.
You tell me. How
Right
much
now?
do you think you'll make on this on Patreon?
If 1,000 people join
Yeah.
the Patreon, it's $5 a month.
It's $5,000 a month. And then you
Times
think they
12.
just stay there.
And then, yeah, they like it.
But
'cause
you
it's
think
good.
1,000 people will join your Patreon? 5,000 new people because of this?
I wish you would stop this. Guys,
I will
support
pay
the Greatest
him
History podcast.
$5,000 a month to
Guys,
keep this content free.
this
Yet, in a twist that fans and critics quickly noted, Louis himself signed on for the Riyadh festival, while Gillis reportedly turned it down. On social platforms, this irony was not lost. the man who once condemned another comedian for monetization, is now taking a check from a regime synonymous with blood money. The contrast became a meme of hypocrisy, a reminder that in comedy, as in politics, past words are often used to measure present choices. The inclusion of figures like Bill Burr and Louis C.K. demonstrates why this controversy resonates so strongly. Burr's brand is built on bluntness and consistency, making his participation feel especially jarring to critics. Louis C.K., meanwhile, has been trying to rehabilitate his reputation after years of scandal, and some see his Saudi appearance as further evidence that principles give way when opportunities are too lucrative. For audiences, the contradiction isn't just disappointing, it's revealing of how much comedy, an art form supposedly anchored in fearless honesty, is bound by the same compromises as every other business. Still, the discussion on In Godfrey We Trust revealed an important nuance. These choices are not made in a vacuum. For working comics, especially those not at the very top, a major festival can represent life-changing money and access to international audiences. Nero highlighted this tension, noting that while hypocrisy should be called out, financial realities can make judgment less clear-cut. In many ways, the debate around the Riyadh festival isn't only about Saudi Arabia, it's about comedy's self-image. The art form sells itself as brutally honest, defying censorship, and standing for free speech. But as the podcast panel and outside critics both observed, those values can dissolve under the pressure of global money. In the end, the Riyadh Comedy Festival controversy reveals how comedy, for all its claims of authenticity, is caught in the same cycle of compromise as politics, sports, and music. The debate isn't just about who tells jokes on stage, it's about whether those jokes retain their integrity when bought, sold, and censored by the highest bidder. Godfrey, Nero, Woods, and Evans gave voice to the contradictions many fans feel, while voices like Trussell and Cross showed how differently comedians themselves approach the dilemma. The Louis C.K. Shane Gillis twist underscored the deeper theme. Hypocrisy is not an exception in comedy, but an occupational hazard, magnified whenever principle collides with profit.